In 1956, MG was still a mark to be feared in British sales. They sold a lot of cars in America, they sold a lot of cars in Europe, and they sold a lot of cars in Australia. And in 1955, they had been at the Le Mans 24-hour race when there was the terrible crash between the Mercedes and the Jag of Mike Hawthorne and the Austin Healey of Lance Macklin, which of course had killed 80-odd spectators. But MG had been there that year and had won the class, driven by, among other people, Ken Miles. So the following year they thought they would continue to wave the flag by coming to see if they could crack some land speed records. And they had a regular MGA, which was a nice looking car, I always thought, and they reclothed it with a full streamliner body. And they set something like 16 land speed records on the Bonneville salt flats in 1956.
This is the beautiful valley of the Great Salt Lake in Utah. It was first settled by pioneers of Mormon faith who entered through Immigrant Pass, a place now marked by this massive monument to their memory. A short distance away is the lake itself, a body of water with no outlet, containing some 25% salts. At one time, this lake covered a vast expanse of northwestern Utah, but with the passing of thousands of years, it has shrunk to its present-day size. During this shrinking process, it left behind a great salt desert, flat, smooth, and hard. A portion of this desert, some 120 miles west, is known as the Bonneville Salt Flats. Because of its size and unique formation, it has become the world's safest and fastest speedway. This is Wendover, Utah, western gateway to the Bonneville Salt Flats. Here on a hot August day in 1956, a determined group of engineers, technicians, and drivers have gathered with the avowed purpose of setting a whole new group of international speed records. The car is the famous British-made MG, a streamlined version of one of the most popular sports cars made. It has just arrived from England and will now be tuned and adjusted to its highest peak of efficiency for its try at the records. In order to go home with the international Class F records it came here to win, the MG will have to reach and maintain a fantastically high rate of speed, and it will have to do it for a sustained period of 12 hours. To prepare for this grueling run, all manner of equipment and parts were shipped to Wendover months in advance. As part of the tune-up, all fuel, air, and oil lines will be removed, cleaned, and checked, and then replaced. That is what these men are doing here. And speaking of these men, they represent the very best in their respective fields. Meet Alec Hounslow, technician and engineer. He is MG's racing foreman and a key man in the record attempts. And here's Henry Stone, another of these technicians who know this car from stem to stern. This is John Law, one of the men who actually built this experimental MG engine. These are some of the men who will be responsible for the car's performance on these crucial runs.
Monday night, NASCAR TV is on speed. One tough series.
Oh, and he hit very hard.
Deserves one rockin' party.
There is no better product in racing than the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series banquet, Monday night, 10 Eastern, only on Speed.
Need to finish your last-minute shopping? Circuit City makes it simple. We've got a huge selection of the year's hottest gifts, digital cameras, MP3 players, and more. Plus great stocking stuffers like movies, music, and games. Or send a personal holiday wish with a recordable Circuit City gift card. Last-minute shopping is simple, with 3 easy ways to buy. Just call, click, or come in to Circuit City.
This is titanium, and only Remington can deliver it in their revolutionary titanium shaving system, designed for a shave that's incredibly close and comfortable. Remington Titanium. It could just make all other shavers obsolete.
Some things men don't want to talk about.
Like prostate problems. But I learned 1 in 3 men will have them. So I switched to One-A-Day Men's.
A complete multivitamin plus lycopene, which Harvard studies suggest may help prostate health.
Some things aren't healthy to talk about.
One-A-Day Men's.
I'm Dale Earnhardt Jr. Welcome to a new generation of Wrangler.
New fits. New comfort. New styles. Wrangler Jeans Company. A new generation of Wrangler. New fits, new comfort, new styles.
You're pretty. Waiting long?
Yeah, and I'm late.
No car, huh?
Bad credit.
I got a car. Hey, I can't get financing. Sure you can. It's easy. Just call 1-800-BAR-NONE. If you need car financing, even if you have bad credit, 1-800-BAR-NONE could get you approved in minutes. 1-800-BAR-NONE? You can? I am? Really? Scintillating. Need a car? Call 1-800-BAR-NONE. Everyone deserves a second chance, bar none. Call now.
Behind every disaster, there's a story to uncover. Now go inside the final moments, investigate every angle from the inside out, and reconstruct the final seconds from disaster. Tuesdays on the National Geographic Channel.
The Bonneville Salt Flats cover an area of some 3,000 square miles, a smooth, flat, glaringly white surface larger than the state of Delaware. By looking down this line of poles, one can actually see the curvature of the earth. The only permanent buildings on the flats are these two forlorn structures, facetiously known as the Bonneville Hotel and the Annex. The official timing shack is on wheels and is brought out here only when needed. Inside is the electronic timing and communication equipment, some of which you see being tested. This check is carefully made in advance to guarantee that when the time comes for its use, it will function flawlessly. Here are computers, telephones, photoelectric eyes, every type of instrument required to measure extremely high speeds accurately. There is one more important task before the runs, smoothing the track. A truck pulls a heavy drag down the course, smoothing out tiny ridges and bumps that could make the car difficult to control as it travels at the speeds required to break records. It is on this salt that a car was once driven over 400 miles an hour. Suppose we show you how the track and the timing equipment are laid out. A perfect circle is marked by a path of black oil on the white salt. The distance around this circle is exactly 10 miles. The run starts with the car passing between photoelectric eyes. This breaks the light beam and records the exact time of the start. 2.5 miles around the track, the car passes observation post number 1, and this is reported to the timing shack by phone. Post number 2 is at midpoint of the course, and post number 3 is 3/4 of the distance around the track. The speed of the MG is clocked for each circuit of the course, and the time is then converted into miles per hour. Thus, records for the various distances are registered and computed accurately and efficiently. Dawn on the flats. This is the big day. Since 3:30 this morning, officials have been here preparing for the exciting event about to take place. And here's the start. Phil Main raises the green starting flag, brings it down, and the car is away. Ken Miles of Los Angeles at the wheel. Slowly it passes the pits, and in the cool of the desert morning gradually picks up speed. Soon it will be streaking around this 10-mile circle at a record-breaking clip. Here it comes, going well over 100. There it goes, past checkpoint number 1. Now it's passing checkpoint number 2 at a speed nearing 135. By the time it reaches checkpoint 3, it's traveling close to 150. If it maintains this rate of speed for the long and tense 12 hours ahead, it will go home with the bacon.
those rating icons you see on TV? There's one made for everybody. They work with your television's parental controls to give you control over which programs your family enjoys. So you can choose between watching TVMA, which is perfect for grown-ups, to watching TVG, which is also perfect for grown-ups. For more information on TV ratings and the V-Chip, visit this website or call the number on your screen.
Marley! Why haven't you called?
She's dead, and I'm too cheap to spring for a phone.
Ah, but with Singular Family Talk, you can add a line for just $9.99. And if you buy one phone, you get 4 free.
Free?
Which means one for you, one for me, and one for each of my friends.
'Tis the season to buy one, get 4 free. Only from Singular, raising the bar.
With my credit, I never thought I'd qualify for a new computer. But with Blue Hippo, all I need is a home phone and a checking account, and approval is guaranteed.
We're talking to people who've discovered Blue Hippo Funding's Guaranteed Approval Program. It doesn't matter if you have bad credit or no credit, because we don't check your credit. Your approval is guaranteed with just an active checking account.
I started my own home business, something I never could have done without a computer.
And if you call in the next 10 minutes, we'll include a multifunction printer, scanner, copier with your order. A $250 value, absolutely free. And we'll also include a brand new digital camera, absolutely free. That's over $500 worth of computer accessories, all for free when you call in the next 10 minutes.
I don't know why anyone wouldn't take advantage of this. It's a great offer.
Mom, can I go on the computer now?
Just a minute.
This is your chance to get a brand new, brand name computer from Blue Hippo, regardless of your credit. And by calling and ordering now, you'll receive this digital camera and this multifunction printer, scanner, copier for free. But you must call now.
When I was a kid, the MGA was one of the cars I always wanted to own. It was a very nice looking car. It was superseded by the MGB, which actually became more of a favourite with people than the MGA, but I never thought it had quite the looks that the MGA had. The MGA certainly had a very swoopy look to it. They tried to build a twin cam engine, which was pretty effective, but was also very unreliable, so that didn't last long, and they went back to the B series and the standard B series engine for the rest of the run.
In the timing shack, signals from these electric eyes record the speed of each lap. This is relayed to the driver by these large numerals. At the pits, there's much to be done. For instance, gasoline has to be hand pumped to a drum on the roof for gravity flow to the gas tank of the car. This is the fastest and most efficient method of refueling. The speed has averaged 142.5 miles an hour, and already 23 national and international records have fallen. Have passed. More records have been collected. The car is running like a fine watch, and hopes are high that this will prove to be a day of great accomplishment for the MG. Speed is called for now, and the sign is raised. The arrow pointing up signals the driver to increase speed, and he does. Around and around it goes. The sun is now high in the sky and beats down on the flats with fierce and unrelenting heat, but the MG roars on steadily and swiftly. Captain George Easton, in charge of these time trials, talks it over with Alec Hounslow. Thus far, all their work and effort has paid off. The car is running beautifully. Wind velocity has remained low, and already a whole series of records have fallen. Among them the 50-kilometer, the 50-mile, the 100-kilometer, the 100-mile, the 200-kilometer, the 200-mile, and more coming up. Now it's time for a pit stop to refuel and check the car and to change drivers. The come-in sign goes up, and next time around, Ken Miles will come in for a well-earned rest. In spite of the heat of the day, the salt surface remains cool because of its moisture content. A thermometer on the surface registers only 74 degrees. Actually, the temperature at this point is around 95 in the shade. Shade? What shade? As the car is checked around Ken's final lap of the 10-mile circle, the pit crew appears to be completely relaxed. But actually, there is a great air of tenseness and excitement here. The car comes coasting down the track the last mile or so to cut down speed, and the driver must avoid burning out the brakes. And it's in. Now the pits become a scene of feverish activity. Ken Miles discusses conditions with Captain Easton and co-driver Johnny Lockett, who will take over at the wheel. Gas, oil, and water are added. The plexiglass blister is carefully wiped and tires checked. The interior must be thoroughly cleaned, otherwise at high speed salt particles could blow around in the cockpit and cause trouble. Now Britain's Johnny Lockett takes his place behind the wheel. The car must be rolled backward out of the pits and then started forward so that it is running under its own power when it goes through again. This is an official regulation which requires the car to cover every foot of the distance under its own power. Time in the pits, 2½ minutes.
In the Big Apple, if it ain't unique, you got nothing.
Think it's the greatest!
I'll make it look different. Rims, body kit, paintwork, full interior, system. Yo, this is looking hot.
Unique Whips, Wednesday night at 9 on Speed.
No matter what you drive, tow, or pull, nothing beats a Rhino Lining sprayed-on liner at protecting your investment on all kinds of vehicles. And this holiday season, log on and enter to win a free Rhino Linings truck bed liner. You'll receive a coupon good for a free liner or a discount of $25 to $100 off. Plus, after your liner is sprayed, you'll get a free 4-month subscription to Trucks Magazine, a $25 value. Rhino Lining stuff won't crack, peel, or warp. It prevents rust. Drop-in bed liners don't. A Rhino Lining is sprayed on, warranted by your dealer for as long as you own it. Log on now for the location of your nearest dealer and enter to win a free Rhino Linings truck bed liner or a discount of $25 to $100 off. Plus, you'll get a free 4-month subscription to Trucks Magazine. Everyone's an instant winner.
Hey, Rhino Line your life.
The car passes through the pits on the second leg of this 12-hour run. Once more, the steady and satisfying roar of the powerful 4-cylinder engine beats over the course, indicating that everything is well. With the sun at almost furnace heat, Ralph Lee Hugh applies a layer of lotion to Gordon Whitby, including his ear. This delights a group of happy onlookers who at this point would laugh at anything, even a man with suntan lotion in his ear. The car is running faster now because it will take a number of laps at a higher than average speed to make up for the time lost in the pits. The carefully calculated running speed is 143 miles an hour, and more records are falling. The 300-kilometer and the 300-mile, the 400-kilometer and the 400-mile, the 500-kilometer and the 500-mile. They are all falling beneath the whirling wheels of this speedy little car. It's time time for the second pit stop. Again, there is intense activity as the car is serviced and the drivers changed. Again, these highly trained experts get the car set in record time. Once more, it hits the track, and now it's after the big ones, the 1,000 mile and the 2,000 kilometers. Pit stop. A slight breeze has come up, but nothing can stop the MG now. So Captain Easton enjoys a relaxing cup of afternoon tea, and well, he deserves it. Afternoon shadows are growing longer, and this amazing speed and endurance run will soon be successfully completed. Captain Easton keeps a sharp lookout for the approaching car. He has great reason to be satisfied with this day's work. The checkered flag comes down, and it's over. The car will make one more lap around the course, as is required by regulations. In the timing shack, the officials will now carefully tabulate and compute the records of this amazing run. These will in turn be certified by the various national and international organizations, and will then go into the books as official marks. The men at the 3 checkpoints are ordered in. Now it's all over but the shouting. For months, these men have worked and planned toward this day, and now their hopes for the car have been fully realized. It has met every exacting demand placed upon it. It comes coasting in to receive the well-earned plaudits of the crew. Today, this MG has set a whole host of Class F records. Over a period of 12 hours, it has covered a distance of over 1,700 miles at an average speed of 141.81 miles per hour. But there's even more to come, with even greater things in the next 2 days.
This weekend, Speed lights up the screen with 2 cinema classics of the Lost Drive-In. Tonight, George C. Scott is a man running from his past. But when a getaway goes wrong, he ends up running for his life.
Come on, hotshot, you're guessing now.
The Last Run. Tomorrow, chance brought them together. But will his passion for racing tear them apart? The French classic, A Man and a Woman. The Lost Drive-In with The Last Run and A Man and a Woman begins tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Need to finish your last-minute shopping? Circuit City makes it simple. We've got a huge selection of the year's hottest gifts, digital cameras, MP3 players, and more. Plus great stocking stuffers like movies, music, and games. Or send a personal holiday wish with a recordable Circuit City gift card. Last-minute shopping is simple, with 3 easy ways to buy. Just call, click, or come in to Circuit City.
Go to Dell.com today for this Inspiron notebook with a CD burner DVD combo drive for only $4.99 and get a free 6-month AOL membership with your Dell PC. With AOL, everything you want online is all in one place. It's more than a great holiday deal, it's a Dell.
The best damn sports show, period. Come on in and be our guest for Sports Television's nightly party. The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on FSN.
Bonneville's famous straightaway course, where this black line travels 14 miles into the distance, straight as an arrow. Here the MG will attempt to break sprint records. Let's look at the procedure. As before, the car will be started by a push-off. The first 2 miles enable the driver to attain top speed by the time he reaches the first mark. Here, the photoelectric eyes record the exact moment of entry into the timed course. This starting impulse is flashed to the timing shack, approximately halfway down the course. In 10 miles, the car will cross the finish line, and this time is also flashed to the timing shack and recorded. The elapsed time will then be computed into miles per hour. The officials are on hand, and all is ready for the big try. The car is pushed off at the head of the track. It picks up speed and flashes past the electric eye and into the measured 10 miles. During this run, it reaches a speed of over 170 miles an hour. As it flashes past the electric eye at the finish, it has set a new record of 170.15 miles an hour, almost 10 miles an hour faster than the old record. Look at the amazing records that have been won here by this MG. And here are some of the dedicated men responsible. Captain George Easton, Alec Hounslow, Johnny Lockett, Ken Miles, John Law and Bill Pringle, and all the rest of the enthusiastic and hard-working men who came to these torrid salt flats to contribute their knowledge and skill toward this great accomplishment. Yes, it's truly a great car, well worthy of the confidence and pride of its thousands of happy drivers.
I think the MGA range had appealed to Americans because, you know, England really was the only country that made cheap, easy to procure sports cars. I mean, Ferrari hadn't even started making cars when MG had been around for, 40 years. And they made a sports car that everybody felt happy with. They were easy to work on. Obviously, they needed a bit of work in those days. All cars did. And they were very romantic little cars, a two-seater, all leather and wood and a nice little engine. And they started off back in the 30s with the 1200cc and the 1000cc engines. And they really didn't have much performance, but they were, just great car, to be out on the highway. And obviously the same thing appealed to people over here. They just thought they were neat little cars. And then Austin Healey came out with first of all, the big Healeys, then the Austin Healey Sprite. That became very popular over here as well. A lot more advanced than the original MGs, although the MGA and the MGB were relatively sophisticated for their day. But they all met their match in the end when Datsun built the 240Z sports car, which was more powerful and much better finished off and much higher quality and just as fast and just as good looking. And that was kind of the beginning and the end for the British sports car, really.